Hey, you. Thanks for tuning in today. Today, we're talking about how to manage stress effectively as a corporate executive. As an executive, there's a lot of weight you're pulling. It might be board meetings, it might be director level updates and hundreds of people following you. It might be you're not even an executive yet, but you're on your way or you have a new job offer. One of my clients recently just got an offer for a C-level position, and she's going to be probably in a new world, ramping up in a new role and experiencing some stress. So today, let's go into how to manage that. What do we do? Well, first, let's talk about stress. It's not the stress that necessarily is the issue. It's our relationship to stress. It's about what we do when we feel stressed. Who can relate to that, right? Stress is caused by overthinking and sitting on too much fear, anger, sadness, or hurt, really. It's living from the neck up, as I like to say. So when we don't allow these expressions, these emotions like fear or anger or sadness or hurt to be expressed or let out of your body, they build up and they fester. You might actually experience a physical injury because you are so tense and you weren't in a place that felt like your body could respond in a way when you swung a tennis racket, for example. These are things that happen. We hear this all the time, right? People get in car accidents because they're stressed. People do all these things. So the key is, there's a lot you're working with as an executive, as a leader in corporate. And we have this whole realm of information below our neckline, right? From our neck down. And that is filled with emotions. That is your body. Okay. That's all I'm talking about here. But when we feel stressed out and we don't express what's in our body, basically, and our mind, because they work together, the body mind, as the late Dr. Candace Pert tells us, we literally just feel stressed and it kind of builds. And that's the whole idea with our adrenals now and cortisol being elevated ongoing, having stressors that are literally killing us. Okay, I don't need to talk about burnout and overwhelm and stress because I think you probably are well aware. One out of three corporate leaders feel stressed at work today. I mean, it's a phenomenon and it's not pretty. And maybe you're one of those people, right? So what do we do as an executive if you're feeling this stress? So I'm kind of alluding to this, but the key is it's a really simple solution to kind of get the quick fixes, to turn to our devices, literally our devices, like maybe your phone, and scroll social media for a while, or numb out. Like we have the beers, we have the wines, and we avoid what is causing us that pain potentially, and addressing what's really going on underneath the surface in how we're showing up and that relationship we have to these emotions, right? So here's a few things that you can try. And this is my own personal list. It's a combination of some resources that I have, but also things that I've noted in Pause, the book, and also in my coaching programs. So the first one, this is a no-brainer, and this is not something I mean to belittle anything, but literally pausing to me is a gateway for doing different things to have change. So intentionally shifting your behavior, that's what I call a pause, and do something else, right? This could be literally a state change, a shift that you could try. It might be for you to leave the room. It might be to move your body around. It might be to journal. It might be connecting with someone and sharing. The idea is that you are doing something different that takes your mind off of something and using your body. Okay. Moving your body actually is a big part of helping this. And if you can't move your body for whatever reason, then maybe you try something else. It might be that journaling or giving a call to a trusted friend just to express, just to say what's going on, to connect and to say, oh man, I could really use a friend right now. I'm looking to just share more about what I'm going through, or tell me about your day, right? If you would want to hear from me. Maybe you're so distracted though, maybe you want to actually really express. So just be aware of what you're doing. And this is a certain key. As we master our emotional intelligence or our EQ, we become aware of when we need a pause, really. Okay. I think another real key is to do some breathing exercises. As a trauma-informed breathwork facilitator, I've learned that the breath, when it's conscious, can really shift our states, to lead to new insights. I mean, it's profound. I like to start with one breath, a belly breath. If you want to try this one with me, simply take a hand, maybe put it on your diaphragm or your belly if you can. If you can close your eyes, even better. Keep your feet on the ground. You don't have to do anything else, but maybe uncross them if they're crossed, and just take a simple single breath, inhaling through your nose. And then exhaling a little slower than when you inhaled, like you're blowing through a straw, a little slower through the mouth. You can also count. So you can count to 4 on the inhale, and then exhale on the count of 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Open your eyes, take your hand away. You might actually feel very different. You could write it out. That's something else. So I mentioned journaling. I've got a great journal, Pause the Journal, How to Use Intentional Writing to Create Your Dreams is the book that came out this year. It's 90 days of journaling. You can get it on Amazon in any language, in any country. And the idea is that we can actually shift our thoughts when we are journaling. It's a tool that signals to the brain what's going on. And there's actually been studies done where if there was a study done where individuals wrote about an emotional experience for 4 days, 2 minutes a day. So that's not very long, right? 4 days, 2 minutes a day, and their mood improved. Go figure, right? So you're literally helping to process stress because you're putting words to your thoughts, and it's allowing your brain to process it differently. It's actually a pretty powerful tool. Meditating or any kind of mindfulness, I would say, is a good change to feeling stressed. Start with 1 minute. You can do it while you do something else. Maybe you're actually brushing your teeth and you're just watching, or you're using your 5 senses. What are you seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching? Those are the 5. And how does that work for you? And there's great apps for this. If you are a meditator, let me know, because I'm interested what you use. Right now, I've gone through multiple phases of my meditation training and practice. And so right now, what I'm really enjoying is just finding random videos on YouTube of people that I like and admire for their meditations. I have a few on my podcast here, and every podcast with guests, we have a pause. We actually do a meditation of some sort, right? And that's really fun. So if you haven't tried that, remember, you can kind of be curious about it and say, what would that be like? And maybe you don't want to sit still. Meditation is not for everyone. So what would work for you? All it is finding out what it would be to get you out of that mode of always thinking, I think. Okay. The other, I see another one here to really try, and I think this one's great, is to watch or read something funny, right? Let's use humor. In other words, find something that makes you smile or laugh. It could be a funny show. It could be a comic. It could be a pet, right? It could be anything, but man, we all can probably feel when we have that laughter, how much we feel better. We feel a little lighter. Another one that works really well is exercise, just moving that body. Remember, emotions are stored in the body. So moving your body can be great. You could stomp your feet around, literally. You can go for a run if that's your thing. It's really about what works for you. It might just be a simple walk outside, but those are really good ways to distress. And another one that I don't know, I haven't really tried this one myself, but it came up a couple times, is to organize. Let me know what you think about this one. So if you're an executive and you probably are very organized at this point, which is awesome. You might set something, maybe there's a section of your desk or a drawer or another room or something that's small, maybe about 5 to 20 minutes of time. Set a timer and organize it. It helps us get out of the mode of thinking about the other things and gives us purpose. So we actually feel more on focus points and on track for doing something that we are excited about, and gets us out of that mode of the stress. And then this other one that's I've got one more after this, but I think this one's really good, which is gratitude practice. I mean, this one I talk about in every talk I do, because when we write down what we're grateful for every day, or in some way express this, you're actually releasing oxytocin as a neurotransmitter. So you're literally probably I want to say zap. I know that's not the medical term. I am not a medical person, but, a technical MD or something. But when you are able to be grateful, you're indicating and orienting towards positive thinking, which is not the norm, by the way, in our brains. And research tells us that gratitude does some pretty cool stuff. It improves productivity, it improves the mood, and we handle adversity better. I mean, there's so much research on this, and I love this statistic that if we have gratitude in the workplace, so if we're actually thanking people on our team or for a project or celebrating birthdays or whatever it might be, productivity improves 50%. That's 50, everybody. Like, whoa, what the, what, because that's amazing. So it doesn't need to be written down. It's about whatever works for you. Again, it's a pause. So maybe you, before you go to bed, think of your favorite moment of the day, a crystallized moment. Maybe you tell someone verbally what you're grateful for at dinner. All right. All of these can be profound ways to deal with stress. The other one I wanted to mention, because this one is something that really worked for me when I felt stressed recently, is leaving a voicemail or a voice memo about what you're experiencing. And we would do this all the time in my training at the Wright Graduate University. They have a term for it, personal empowerment. Boy, I'm going to mess it up. I don't know. We called it pepping, but what you would do is, and I do this on the audio recorder. So if you have a recorder on your phone and you're driving, let's say, simply press record and talk into it. And this is just for you. You don't have to share this. You can delete it right away. But the key is you're actually going through the motions of imagining you're talking to someone. If you have someone who's going to just be there and listen to you, even better. I would highly recommend that too. But if you don't, you can use your voicemail or you can use a voice memo and just talk in free form. You're not editing any sentences, any thoughts. You're literally just dumping your brain out on the voicemail or the audio message. And that's you expressing, that's you completing the feelings, that you validating yourself, which is also important, and it will lower stress. Your cortisol will come down. It might take 2 or 3 tries. I know that's what I did when I needed it. And I felt really good. And then I had an insight. So that's the power of taking action when you feel stressed and not letting it just be there. And I think, being a corporate leader as an executive, you didn't just get to where you are by accident, right? Like, you took action, you were already a leader. So this is you leading in the next phase. And also know that I know stress comes with the territory, but it doesn't mean that you have to burn out with it. If we can manage the stressors and diffuse them through these ways where we are personally responsible for our actions, my guess is you're going to be so much better off in position to manage your relationships to stress, because it's not just about overthinking things. And that's what happens. It's about knowing that you are safe and secure, and you will get through this, and you will create the support and self-care that you need. And I'm going to do these things in the meantime because they're going to help me. All right. Well, I hope that was helpful. If you are experiencing stress or feeling like things that are just not changing for you, and you want to be better at managing that stress effectively, I want to know. I want to hear from you, and I want to support you, because here's the thing. No one can do it alone. We all need support. So leave me an audio message. No one hears those but me on anchor.fm/the Pausecast. And you can also connect with me. I am on all the social media channels, which you'll hear about in a moment. And I'm just so excited that you are here to create your own leadership at growth and development, because we need you. The world needs more leaders like you, more executive corporate leaders who are aware, who are ready to rise to their next level of leadership through EQ, emotional intelligence, mastery. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.